The stars looked cold and empty to Captain Thelmira as she stared out at the dark space around her ship. The gentle current was dying. The engines had stopped working 3 days ago, and now the air was getting bad. Her 7 crew members were scared, and she could not blame them. "Captain, the power is dropping fast," said her engineer. His voice shook with fear. "We have maybe 6 hours left before everything stops." Thelmira felt her heart sink. They were far from home, far from any help. No other ships came this way. This was empty space where traders like them tried to find new worlds to sell their goods. Now it looked like they would die here. "Send the emergency signal," she told her communications officer. "Send it on all frequencies. Maybe someone will hear us." The signal went out into the dark. It told anyone listening that 7 beings were dying and needed help fast. Thelmira did not think anyone would come. They were too far from civilization, but she had to try. The signal traveled through space faster than light. It passed dead planets and empty systems. It went past places where no one lived and where no ships ever went. Finally, after traveling for hours, it reached a small monitoring station orbiting a blue and green world. Li Jiwan was drinking coffee when the computer started making noise. She was working the night shift at Earth's Outer System Monitoring Station. Usually nothing happened during these long hours. Ships from Earth reported in, and sometimes they picked up signals from old probes. This was different. "Computer. What is that signal?" she asked. "Unknown origin. Emergency frequency." "Language not in database," the computer replied. Jiwan sat up straight. An emergency signal from someone they had never met before? She started recording everything and called her supervisor. This was too important for her to handle alone. "Sir, I have something strange here. An emergency signal from an unknown source. They are asking for help." "Send everything to Earth Command right away," her supervisor told her. "And keep listening." On Earth, Admiral Park Do-hyun was having dinner with his family when his communicator buzzed. Emergency calls always came at the worst times. He looked at the message and frowned. First contact with aliens was something they had planned for, but not like this. "I have to go," he told his wife. "Something important has come up." At Earth Defense Command, the translation computers worked fast. The alien language was nothing like human languages, but computers were good at finding patterns. Within an hour, they had a rough translation of the message. 7 beings dying. Ship broken. Need help fast. Anyone please help. Admiral Park read the message again. These aliens were going to die if no one helped them. The location was far away, at the edge of known space. It would take their fastest ships almost a day to get there. "How many ships can we send?" he asked Kim Minho, his chief engineer. "The 3rd Fleet is ready to go. 12 heavy cruisers, 8 destroyers, 4 medical ships, and 2 supply vessels. We can have them moving in 2 hours." "That seems like a lot for a rescue mission," said Choi Na-young, the xenobiologist who studied alien life. "Maybe we should send just 1 or 2 ships?" Admiral Park shook his head. "We don't know what we will find out there. These aliens might be under attack. Their ship might be badly damaged. We might need to fight off pirates or repair a huge vessel. Better to bring too much help than not enough." "Sir," said another officer, "this will be the largest fleet deployment in Earth's history. Are you sure?" "These people are dying," Admiral Park said firmly. "We have the ships and the people to help them. We will help them." The orders went out quickly. Across Earth's orbital stations, ship crews got ready to leave. Captain Yoon Seojin of the flagship Seoul's Pride checked his ship's systems. Medical officer Kang Minji loaded extra supplies onto her medical frigate. Marines like Lim Tae-wan and Bae Soo-jin prepared their gear for possible combat situations. "Where are we going?" asked Oh So-young, the fleet's translator. "To help some aliens who are in trouble," Captain Yoon told her. "We don't know what they look like or what they need, but they are dying, and we can save them." "How many of them are there?" she asked. "7. Oh So-young looked surprised. "We are sending 26 ships to save 7 aliens?" "That's right," the captain said. "If it was 7 humans out there, we would want someone to send help, wouldn't we?" The fleet left Earth space 2 hours after the first signal arrived. 26 warships jumped to faster-than-light speed, heading for the coordinates where 7 aliens waited to die. It was the fastest response to an emergency call in galactic history, though the humans did not know that. Back on the Gentle Current, Captain Thelmira watched her crew getting weaker. The air was bad now, and everyone was having trouble breathing. She had not heard anything back from their emergency signal. Maybe no one was listening. Maybe no one cared about 7 traitors dying in empty space. "Captain," called her communications. "Officer." His voice was very weak now. "I think I hear something." "What is it?" "Ships. Lots of ships. They are coming here fast." Thelmira felt hope for the first time in days. Someone had heard them. Someone was coming to help. She did not know that the help coming her way was bigger and more powerful than anything the galaxy had ever seen. She just knew they might live. The human fleet raced through space toward the dying alien ship. Admiral Park stood on the bridge of his flagship and watched the stars. In a few hours, humans would meet aliens for the first time. He hoped it would go well. He had no idea that this simple rescue mission would change everything in the galaxy forever. The human fleet dropped out of faster-than-light travel 18 hours after leaving Earth. Captain Yoon Se-ojin stood on the bridge of the Soul's Pride and looked at the screens showing the area around them. His sensors found the alien ship. Quickly. "There it is," said his navigation officer. "Small vessel, about 200 meters long. No power signatures except emergency life support." "Any other ships in the area?" Captain Yoon asked. "No, sir. We are alone out here." Captain Yoon nodded. "Good. No pirates or enemy ships to worry about. This would be a simple rescue." He opened a channel to the alien ship. "Unknown vessel, this is Captain Yoon of the Earthship Soul's Pride. We received your emergency signal. We are here to help." On the Gentle Current, Captain Thelmira could hardly believe what was happening. The ship that was talking to them was huge. Her sensors showed it was bigger than anything she had ever seen, and there were more ships around it. Many more. "How many ships are out there?" she asked her sensor operator. "I count 26 vessels, Captain. All of them are big. Bigger than our ship. Much bigger." Thelmira felt scared and hopeful at the same time. Why would anyone send so many ships to help them? What did these aliens want? "This is Captain Thelmira of the trading vessel Gentle Current," she replied. "We are grateful for your help. Our engines are broken and our life support is failing. 7 crew members are aboard." Oh So-young, the human translator, worked quickly to understand the alien language better. The translation computers were getting better at it with each message. She could tell the alien captain was female and very frightened. "Captain," Oh So-young said to Captain Yoon, "I think they are scared of us. They keep asking why we brought so many ships." "Tell them we want to make sure we can help them properly," Captain Yoon replied. "Ask them if they need medical help." The message went to the alien ship. Captain Thelmira listened to the translation and felt even more confused. These aliens talked about helping them properly. What did that mean? And they were asking about medical help. How did they know about alien medicine? Captain said, "Her medical officer, Krevhan and Silwara, are getting very sick. The bad air is hurting them. Tell the aliens we have 2 crew members who need medical help," Thelmira said. When the humans heard this, Medical Officer Kang Minji got ready immediately. She was on the medical frigate Hope's Light and had been preparing for this moment since they left Earth. "I need a boarding team," she told Captain Lee Dong-yun, who commanded her ship. 2 aliens are sick and we need to get to them fast. "Take Marines Lim Tae-wan and Bae Soo-jin with you," the captain said, "and be careful. We don't know what these aliens are like." "Soul's Pride, this is Hope's Light," Captain Lee called to the flagship. "We are ready to send a medical team to the alien ship." "Permission granted," Captain Yoon replied. "Be gentle with them. They seem very scared." The human boarding craft moved toward the gentle current. It was small compared to the warships, but it was still bigger than most trading vessels. Captain Thelmira watched it approach and felt her fear growing. "Why are they wearing armor?" asked her engineer. Thelmira looked at the sensor readings. The aliens coming to help them were in some kind of metal suits. Were they dangerous? Were they going to take over her ship? "Because space is dangerous," she said, trying to stay calm. "Maybe their suits protect them from bad air and other problems." The boarding craft connected to the gentle current. Medical Officer Kang Minji stepped through the airlock first, followed by the 2 Marines. They moved carefully, ready for anything. The aliens inside the ship looked nothing like humans. They were taller and thinner, with long arms and large eyes. Their skin was pale blue, and they had no hair. They looked weak and scared. "Hello," Kang Minji said through her suit's speaker. The translation came out in the alien language. "I am a doctor. I am here to help your sick crew members." "Captain." Thelmira stared at the humans. They were shorter than her people, but they looked strong. Very strong. They moved like fighters, not doctors. Their armor was black and covered with equipment she did not recognize. "The sick ones are over there," she said, pointing to 2 aliens, lying on the floor. Kang Minji knelt beside them and began checking their condition. She had studied alien biology on the way here, but this was her first time treating non-human patients. The 2 aliens were having trouble breathing and their skin color was wrong. "They have oxygen poisoning," she said to the Marines. "The life support system is putting out the wrong mixture of gases." "Can you fix them?" asked Lim Tae-wan. "Yes, but I need to get them to our medical bay, and we need to fix their ship's life support system or the others will get sick too." Captain Thelmira heard this and felt amazed. These aliens could tell what was wrong just by looking, and they wanted to fix her ship? "You can repair our life support?" she asked. "Of course," said Marine Bae Soo-jin. "Our engineers can fix most things. Would you like us to look at your engines too?" Thelmira felt dizzy. These aliens were offering to fix everything? For free? No one did that. There was always a price. "What do you want in return?" she asked. The humans looked confused. Kang Minji stood up from examining the sick aliens. "We don't want anything," she said. "You asked for help. We came to help, that's all." "But you brought so many ships. This must be expensive for you." "This is what we do," Lim Tae-wan said simply. "When someone needs help, we help them." Captain Thelmira could not understand this. In her experience, no one helped strangers without wanting something back, especially not with this many ships and this much equipment. "Captain," called her communications officer, "I am picking up messages between their ships. I can't understand much, but they are talking about food shipments and medical supplies. For us. Food shipments? Thelmira asked the humans. How much food? Enough for several months, Bei Sujin replied. We don't know how long it will take to get you home safely, so we brought extra supplies. Several months of food for 7 people on 2 supply ships? Those are small supply ships, Kang Minji explained. They carry emergency supplies for rescue missions like this. Captain Thelmira felt her world turning upside down. These aliens had supply ships bigger than her trading vessel, and they called them small. They had brought months of food for 7 strangers. They had medical equipment that could diagnose alien diseases instantly. And they acted like this was normal. How many people live on your world? She asked quietly. About 12 billion, Lim Taewon said. And how many ships like these do you have? This is just one small fleet, Bei Sujin replied. We have many fleets like this. Captain Thelmira sat down hard. 12 billion people, many fleets of massive ships, medical technology, beyond anything she had seen. And they used all of this power to save 7 dying traders they had never met. What kind of species had she contacted? And what were they going to do now that they knew her people existed? Don't worry, Kang Minji said gently. We will take good care of you. All of you. But Captain Thelmira was very worried indeed. She had asked for help and received an invasion force that called itself a rescue mission. These humans were either the kindest species in the galaxy or the most dangerous. Maybe they were both. The news traveled fast through galactic space. A merchant ship had sent out an emergency signal, and an unknown species had responded with a massive fleet. Within hours, every government in the galaxy knew about it. Administrator Wei Tan of the Galactic Commerce Council sat in his office on the capital world of Nexus Prime. He was looking at the reports coming in from his spy satellites. The images made no sense. 26 warships, he said to his assistant. 26 for a simple rescue mission? Yes, sir, his assistant replied. And they are big ships, much bigger than anything we have seen before. Who are these humans? Wei Tan asked. Have we heard of them before? No, sir. They are not in any of our databases. This is the first time anyone has seen them. Wei Tan felt worried. New species usually made contact slowly. They sent small ships with diplomats. They talked before they acted. They did not show up with invasion fleets. On Earth's command ship, intelligence analyst Han Jae-ho was listening to radio signals from all over the galaxy. His job was to understand what other species were thinking. What he heard made him nervous. Captain, he said to Captain Yoon, we have a problem. The aliens are panicking. Panicking? Why? They think we are invading them. I am hearing emergency signals from dozens of worlds. Some species are evacuating their border systems. Captain Yoon looked confused. But we are just helping some people in trouble. They don't see it that way, Han Jae-ho said. They see a powerful new species that can deploy massive fleets across impossible distances. To them, this looks like a show of force. The Kethalari Confederation was one of the first to react. They were a peaceful species that had never fought a war. When they saw the human fleet, they immediately started moving their civilian ships away from the border. Emergency evacuation of all systems within 50 light-years of human space, ordered Kethalari Commander Pelthara. If these humans can send this many ships for a rescue, imagine what they could send for a war. The Raxtor Empire had a different reaction. They were warriors who had conquered many worlds, but even they were scared of the humans. Cancel all invasion plans, ordered Raxtor war leader Grakmol. Pull our fleets back to defensive positions. Do not make any moves that might anger these humans. But, sir, said his second-in-command, we have been planning the invasion of the Malek system for months. I don't care, Grakmol replied. Look at those ships. Look how fast they moved. We have never seen anything like this. Until we know more about these humans, we do nothing that might seem aggressive. Dr. Song Hiyori was the fleet's cultural specialist. She was talking with Captain Thelmira, trying to understand alien society. What she learned worried her. Captain Thelmira, she said, can you tell me about your government? How do they usually respond to emergencies? Our government? Thelmira looked confused. They would not respond. This is too far from home and too expensive. We are just merchants. No one would risk military ships to save us. What about other species? Would they help? No. Nobody helps strangers. It costs too much and gains nothing. Why would they? Dr. Song felt her heart sink. In human society, helping others was normal. It was what good people did. But in galactic society, it seemed like no one helped anyone unless they gained something from it. So when we came to help you, she said slowly, what did that look like? To other species? Like you were showing your power, Thelmira said. Like you were telling the galaxy that you could send massive fleets anywhere you wanted. It looks like a threat. Technical specialist An Jinwu was monitoring galactic communications. What he found made things even worse. Sir, he reported to Admiral Park, I have bad news. The aliens have figured out where Earth is. How? They traced our fleet's path backward, and they have been sharing the information. Every major government now knows the location of our home system. Are they planning to attack us? No, sir. They are forming alliances to defend against us. The Galactic Defense League just called an emergency meeting. 23 species want to join it. Admiral Park rubbed his forehead. This was getting out of control. What do they think we are going to do? Conquer them, An Jinwu said. They think this rescue mission was actually a military demonstration. They think we were showing them our power before we demand they surrender. On the planet Viridian, the Emergency Council of Species was meeting for the first time in 1,000 years. Representatives from dozens of worlds sat in the Great Hall, all talking about the same thing, the human threat. They appeared from nowhere, said Representative Kolvar of the Mining Guild. No one has ever heard of them before. Then suddenly they have the biggest fleet anyone has ever seen. The speed of their response is what worries me, said Counselor Threndy of the Science Union. 18 hours to cross that distance. Our fastest ships would take weeks. How is that possible? Maybe they have been watching us for a long time, suggested Ambassador Yilxian of the Trade Federation. Maybe they have been preparing for this moment. Preparing for what? Asked Kolvar. Conquest, Yilxian replied. First they show us their power, then they make demands, then they take over everything. Back on the human fleet, Captain Yoon was getting more reports from his intelligence staff. The situation was getting worse by the hour. Captain, said Communications Officer Park Jong-ho, I am receiving formal diplomatic messages. 7 different. Species want to meet with us. They are sending ships. That's good news, isn't it? I don't think so, sir. The messages sound scared. They keep asking about our terms for peace and our conditions for non-aggression. They think we are making demands. We haven't made any demands. They don't know that, sir. They see our fleet and they assume we want something from them. Dr. Song joined the conversation. Captain, I think we need to change how we are doing this. These aliens are not like us. They don't understand helping others for free. To them, everything has a price. What do you suggest? We need to be very careful about what we say and do. Every action we take will be interpreted as a military or political move. If we are not careful, we could start a war without meaning to. Captain Yoon looked out at the stars. The human fleet was spread out around them, protecting the damaged alien ship while engineers worked to fix it. It was a beautiful sight to him, ships from Earth working together to save lives. But to the rest of the galaxy, it looked like something very different. It looked like the arrival of a new master species that could destroy anyone who opposed them. Keep monitoring the communications, he told his staff, and try to think of a way to tell them we are peaceful without making them more scared. Yes, sir, they replied, but none of them knew how to do that. How do you tell an entire galaxy that you are not their enemy when everything you do makes you look more powerful and dangerous? How do you explain that you just wanted to help when your help comes with the biggest military force anyone has ever seen? These questions had no easy answers, and with each passing hour, more species were joining the alliance against humanity. The rescue mission was turning into the galaxy's worst diplomatic crisis in history. The alien ships arrived 3 days later. Commander Ryu Seung-ho of the destroyer Busan Thunder was the first to detect them on his sensors. Captain Yoon, he called to the flagship. We have incoming vessels, multiple contacts, different species. They are moving slowly and broadcasting on diplomatic frequencies. Captain Yoon studied the sensor readings. 12 ships from various alien governments were approaching. They were not trying to hide, which was good, but something felt wrong. What kind of diplomatic frequencies? He asked. That's the strange part, sir, Ryu Seung-ho replied. They are using the frequencies that our database says are for formal surrender negotiations. Cultural Officer Nam Yejin was listening to the alien transmissions. She had been studying galactic languages since the first contact. What she heard made her worried. Captain, she said, these aliens think we are here to accept their surrender. Surrender? We're on a rescue mission. They don't see it that way. They keep talking about terms of submission and acceptable tribute payments. They think we demonstrated our military power, and now we are waiting for them to give up. The first alien ship to make contact was the diplomatic vessel Peaceful Dawn. It belonged to the Galactic Council, the closest thing the galaxy had to a central government. Ambassador Shenkar was aboard, along with representatives from 6 different species. This is Ambassador Shenkar of the Galactic Council, came the transmission. We request permission to come aboard your command ship to discuss terms. Captain Yoon looked at his cultural officer. Terms for what? I think they want to negotiate how much control we will take over them, Nam Yejin said quietly. Captain Lee Dong-yun of the medical frigate Hope's Light was chosen to host the meeting. His ship was smaller and less intimidating than the flagship. Captain Yoon hoped this would help the aliens feel less scared. When Ambassador Shenkar came aboard, Captain Lee was shocked by what he saw. The alien ambassador was clearly terrified. His hands were shaking and he kept looking around like he expected to be attacked. Welcome aboard the Hope's Light, Captain Lee said gently. Would you like something to drink? Something to eat? Shenkar looked confused. You are offering me food? Of course. You have traveled a long way to see us. But I am here to surrender my species to you. Why would you feed me? Captain Lee felt his heart sink. Ambassador, we are not here to conquer anyone. We came to help a ship in distress. Please do not joke with me, Shenkar said nervously. Your demonstration of power was very impressive. No one has ever deployed such a large fleet so quickly. We understand the message. You are the dominant species now. Dr. Song Hyori joined the meeting to help explain the situation. She could see that Ambassador Shenkar was barely holding himself together. Ambassador, she said carefully, I think there has been a misunderstanding. We really are just here to help. The ship we rescued had 7 crew members who were dying. 7? Shenkar's voice cracked. You sent 26 warships to save 7 people? They needed help. But that makes no sense. No government would spend that much money and risk that many ships for 7 strangers. Unless... His eyes went wide. Unless you are so powerful that this fleet means nothing to you. Unless this is just a tiny part of your military. Dr. Song realized the problem. To humans, sending help when people were in trouble was normal. But to aliens who had never seen this kind of behavior, it could only mean one thing. Humans were so powerful that they could waste enormous resources just to make a point. How many ships does humanity have? Shenkar asked quietly. This is just one small fleet, Captain Lee replied honestly. We have many others. Shenkar made a sound like a whimper. Many fleets like this one? Some are bigger, Dr. Song said, trying to be helpful. We have fleets designed for different jobs. This one is for rescue missions and peacekeeping. Peacekeeping, Shenkar repeated. You have fleets that are bigger than this one, and you use them for peacekeeping. The ambassador was quiet for a long moment. Then he started talking very fast into his communicator in his own language. Dr. Song could only understand some of it, but she heard words that translated to massive power and impossible military strength. Meanwhile, physicist John Soyeon was giving a tour of the ship to other alien diplomats. She was excited to share human technology with new friends. She did not realize that everything she said made the aliens more frightened. This is our main engine room, she said proudly. We have 3 backup power systems in case the main one fails. The alien engineers looked at each other in shock. 3 backup systems? Only military vessels had that much redundancy. And these are our emergency supplies, John Soyeon continued. We carry food and medicine for 6 months, even on missions that should only take a few days. Why? Asked one of the aliens. Because you never know what might happen. We might find more people who need help, or we might get delayed. It's better to be prepared, the aliens whispered to each other. Ships that were prepared for any situation. Ships that carried supplies for extended campaigns. This was not a rescue vessel. This was a warship designed for conquest. The situation got worse when pilot Min Ji-hyo decided to show off human flying skills. She took her fighter on a patrol around the alien ships. She was just being friendly, but her flying demonstrated capabilities that should have been impossible. Watch this, she said over the radio to her wingman. She put her fighter into a spiral that pulled 15 gravities of force. The alien ships detected the maneuver and went into panic. No known species could survive that kind of acceleration. Their pilots would die instantly. But the human pilot was laughing and asking her wingman to try the same move. These humans, whispered the alien admiral on the diplomatic ship. They are not like us. They can survive things that would kill us. They can fly ships in ways that should destroy any living being. What does that mean? Asked his tactical officer. It means they come from a world so dangerous that they evolved to be nearly indestructible. It means we are dealing with a species that thinks in ways we cannot understand. Back on the Hope's Light, Ambassador Shenkar was trying to negotiate humanity's demands. But the humans kept insisting they had no demands. Please, he begged Dr. Song, just tell me what you want. Do you want tribute payments? Do you want us to provide ships for your fleet? Do you want territorial concessions? Just tell me what will satisfy you. We don't want anything, Dr. Song said for the 10th time. We just want to help. But that's impossible. No species acts without self-interest. No government spends resources without expecting returns. You must want something. Dr. Song tried a different approach. What would your government do if they found 7 people dying in space? Nothing, Shenkar said immediately. It would be too expensive and too risky. We would file a report and forget about it. Even if you could save them easily? Especially then, if we saved every person in trouble, we would go bankrupt. Resources are limited. You must use them wisely. Dr. Song finally understood the scope of the problem. Humans saw helping others as a moral duty. These aliens saw it as wasteful and stupid. When humans sent a massive rescue fleet, aliens could only interpret it as a demonstration of unlimited power. Ambassador, she said slowly, what if I told you that humans help each other all the time? What if I told you that our entire society is built on the idea that we should take care of people who need help? Shenkar stared at her. That would mean your species is either completely insane or more powerful than anything we can imagine. Why? Because only a species with unlimited resources could afford to help everyone. Only a species with no enemies could risk their military on rescue missions. Only a species that had already conquered everything would have nothing better to do than save strangers. The meeting ended with no progress. Ambassador Shenkar left, convinced that humanity was preparing to take over the galaxy. The humans were left confused and worried about how to fix the situation. Captain, Dr. Song reported to Captain Yoon, I think we have accidentally convinced them that we are the most powerful military force in galactic history. But we're not trying to conquer anyone. That's what makes us so scary to them. They can't understand why we would do this unless we were so powerful that we didn't need to worry about the cost. Captain Yoon looked out at the alien ships surrounding his fleet. They were here to surrender to an invasion that had never been planned. They were offering tribute to conquerors who just wanted to help. What do we do now? He asked. I don't know, Dr. Song replied. How do you convince people you're peaceful when everything you do makes you look more dangerous? It was a question that no one had an answer for. And with every passing hour, more alien fleets were gathering to face the human threat that existed only in their imagination. Dr. Ko Min-seok arrived with the second wave of human ships. He was Earth's best expert on alien cultures, and Admiral Park had sent him to fix the growing crisis. Unlike the military officers, he could see that something was very wrong with how the aliens were acting. They are showing signs of species-wide trauma, he told Captain Yoon after studying the diplomatic reports. Every alien we have met is terrified. This is not normal fear. This is the kind of fear that comes from thinking your entire civilization is about to end. But we haven't threatened anyone, Captain Yoon said. That's exactly the problem, Doctor, Ko replied. They can't understand why we would do this without threats. To them, it makes us seem more dangerous, not less. Dr. Ko worked with linguist Park Jong-ho to study the recordings of all alien communications. They found patterns that the military officers had missed. Look at this, Park Jong-ho said, pointing to a translation. When they talk about us, they use words that normally describe natural disasters. They call us the storm and the flood. They don't see us as a normal species. What do they see us as? A force of nature. Something too powerful to fight or understand. Something you can only survive by staying out of its way. The breakthrough came during a cultural exchange dinner. Chef Huang Xiaoyong had prepared what she thought was a simple, mild meal for the alien delegates. She wanted to show them that humans were friendly and normal. "This is a basic Korean dish," she explained to Ambassador Shenkar and his staff. "Very simple ingredients. Nothing fancy." She began preparing the food in front of them. The aliens watched in growing horror as she handled ingredients that their sensors identified as industrial chemicals and biological hazards. "That substance," whispered one of the alien scientists. "We use it to clean starship hulls. It dissolves metal." "And that plant extract," said another. "It's a Class 5 toxin. A single drop could kill most species." Chef Huang continued cooking, completely unaware of their reactions. She tasted the sauce and added more spice. The aliens watched her consume what they considered to be deadly poison and asked for seconds. "How are you not dead?" Shenkar asked in a shaking voice. "Dead? From food?" Chef Huang laughed. "This is very mild. My grandmother made much spicier dishes than this." Dr. Ko saw what was happening and realized this was the key to everything. "Ambassador," he said gently, "can you tell me about your home world? What is it like?" "Kalaris is a peaceful world," Shenkar said. "The temperature never goes below 10 degrees or above 30. The air is always perfect. There are no dangerous animals or poisonous plants. It is a paradise." "And most worlds in the galaxy are like this?" "Of course. Only paradise worlds can support intelligent life. Dangerous worlds kill any species before they can develop civilization." Dr. Ko felt everything click into place. "Ambassador, what would you say if I told you that Earth has creatures that could eat your ship? What if I told you that our weather can kill you in minutes, and our plants produce toxins that we use as seasoning?" Shenkar stared at him. "I would say that's impossible. Nothing intelligent could survive on such a world. But we did survive. We evolved there. We became intelligent there." "That would make you—" Shenkar's voice trailed off as he understood. "You come from a death world. We call it home." The word spread through the alien delegation like fire. Deathworlders. The humans were death. Worlders. It explained everything. "No wonder they can deploy such massive fleets," whispered the military advisor. "No wonder they don't care about the cost. On a death world, you must be ready for anything or you die." "No wonder they help strangers," said the cultural expert. "On a death world, cooperation is the only way to survive. They help others because their own survival depends on it." "No wonder they are not afraid of us," said the economist. "We are not dangerous compared to their own planet." Ambassador Shenkar looked at Chef Huang, who was still happily cooking with substances that could dissolve starship armor. "You really don't understand why we are scared, do you?" "Not really," she admitted. "You seem like nice people. Why would you be scared?" "Because we are soft," Shenkar said quietly. "We evolved on easy worlds where nothing tried to kill us. You evolved on a world where everything tried to kill you. We are children compared to you." Captain Sung Woo-jin of the diplomatic vessel. New Soul arrived to help establish proper contact protocols. He worked with alien representatives to create new rules for interaction. "We need to be very careful about how we approach other species," he told his staff. "Everything we consider normal might seem threatening to them." But how do we help people if they are afraid of us? Asked his communications officer. Slowly, carefully, and with lots of explanation. The negotiations took weeks. The aliens needed time to understand that humans were not planning to conquer them. The humans needed time to understand how their actions looked to beings from peaceful worlds. Dr. Ko made the final breakthrough when he realized what the aliens really needed to hear. "Ambassador Shenkar," he said during their last meeting, "you are afraid that we will treat you the way your species would treat weaker beings. But we are not your species. We learned long ago that the strong must protect the weak, or everyone dies. Why? Because on our world, the strong and the weak must work together to survive. The smart person needs the strong person. The strong person needs the fast person. The fast person needs the smart person. Everyone has something to offer. Everyone deserves protection. Even strangers? Especially strangers. Today's stranger might save your life tomorrow." Ambassador Shenkar was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "Your species is very strange." "Yes," Dr. Ko agreed, "but we are not dangerous. Not to people who don't threaten us." "And if someone did threaten you?" Dr. Ko smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "Ambassador, we evolved on a world that tried to kill us every day for millions of years. We survived by becoming very good at protecting ourselves and our friends. I think it would be better if no one ever found out how good we are at that." The message was clear. Humans were peaceful, but they were not helpless. They would be good friends and terrible enemies. 6 months later, Captain Thelmira of the Gentle Current sat in her new office on Earth's first diplomatic station. She was humanity's first alien ambassador, working with Foreign Relations Specialist Kim Na-hyun to establish the rules for galactic cooperation. "I still don't understand why you saved us," she told Kim Na-hyun one day. "Because you needed help," Kim Na-hyun replied simply. "But it cost so much, and you gained nothing." "We gained friends," Kim Na-hyun said. "We gained the knowledge that there are other intelligent species in the universe. We gained the chance to make the galaxy a better place. Better how? Safer, kinder, more willing to help when help is needed." Thelmira looked out the window at the ships coming and going from the station. Human vessels mixed with alien ones. Traders, diplomats, scientists, and travelers from dozens of worlds. "You know," she said, "some species are starting to copy your rescue protocols. The Kethalari just sent 3 ships to help a damaged freighter." "That's wonderful. The Raxtor Empire is talking about converting some of their warships into hospital ships." "Even better. Do you think it will work, this new way of doing things?" Kim Na-hyun smiled. "We won't know unless we try. But I think it's worth trying." Thelmira nodded. She thought about that day 6 months ago when her ship was dying and she sent out a desperate signal. She had expected nothing. She had received everything. The humans had not just saved her life. They had changed the galaxy. Not through conquest or threats, but through the simple act of caring about strangers in trouble. It was the strangest invasion in galactic history, an invasion of kindness that conquered nothing but changed everything. And it all started with 7 people who needed help and another species that was crazy enough to give it.